Hey guys, in this video I wanted to discuss something that I think is important in general for general technique improvements on the main lifts or really just any sort of exercise that you're doing. And this is kind of piggybacking off of Steve Denovi's recent video of PRS Performance about defining what good technique is. And he outlines some things in that video that I think are fantastic. I think everybody should go and watch that. I wanted to add an additional thing that I think is also important as a coach and as a lifter, because I think one of the most important things that a coach can do for their lifter is obviously one, get them that general direction, that general advice is going to get them to the best technique possible for them for their sport. However, I do think that coaches should also, while they're doing the process of technique improvements, is get their lifters to the point where they are able to think critically about their own technique in the moment, be able to make changes to their technique while they're watching back their form videos, seeing what they did wrong, and going off their own biofeedback, because it is extremely important for a coach, obviously, to guide the lifter towards that and to help them along the way. But it is also just as important, in my opinion, for the lifter to become self-efficacious and be able to course correct during their training. So something that I like to have my lifters do when they send me technique videos eventually is I will start asking them what they think that they did well on that set, and then what they think that they could potentially improve, and then how they think that they can improve that while they're asking me for technique revisions. And the reason why I want that to happen is because the lifters, if they can course correct and see like what are they doing wrong and kind of feel it and have that good biofeedback, and also have a video like recording and say, okay, I think I need to change XYZ thing, they're going to be that much better at performing that lift, and will be able to probably make even better technique improvements. And this is a process that I think that a coach should, help a lifter through. And so, for example, like what I said, what I would generally do is initially clients can send me over their form videos, and I will give them back, my general feedback on what I think that they can do. Usually it's a couple things, one or two things. I don't want to overload them with information, see how that affects things. And then as we progress in our coaching relationship and our time together, I eventually want my lifters to not just say, hey coach, here's my squat, what do you think? Is eventually I'm going to ask them what they think that they did well, what they can improve, how can they improve that? And then I'm going to either confirm or maybe add in something else I think would be able to work. So then technique is more collaborative, the lifters are more invested in that, and the lifter is also going to be able to also become more self-sufficient and more confident in their ability to, I guess, somewhat coach themselves through that. Because we need to remember that as coaches, we are not the one lifting the weight in that moment. We are looking from an outside perspective, and the lifter ultimately is the one who is lifting the weight, who is having that technique feedback, that biofeedback about what they are doing. So to sum things up, lifters, take some control over your technique. You should be in control of it. You should be like taking notes about, did what coach tell me to do, did that work? What do I need help with? What did I do well? What felt good? Because we are built so much differently. There are different grip grips on bench press that will work better for some people. Some people, have a different stance on single deadlift, different toe angle. Like there's so much inter-individual variability that it's so important for you to become reflective and critical and really just think back about what went well, what feels good, what doesn't feel good. If you feel stronger in a certain position, if you can train that position consistently and not get hurt, which is probably the most important thing while getting stronger, and then just like what's going to get you to your end goals in the best way. So hopefully this video was helpful. I just want to get this out here, because I just think it's just really important for lifters to understand, and that's my approach in my coaching system, and it works very well.